Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world, and we're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod and the 40 unit save version. We've wrapped up a pretty successful turn at sea, and we're ready for a new turn, except I noticed one thing I did overlook, and that is, you know, when we took over Spain, we took over a school. So I want to get that school active and productive, because right now, how many turns have we been here? One or two? So we're wasting a little research opportunities here. I think what we'll do initially is focus on the military just to get us as much as possible, even with artillery up to a certain level. Improve grenades now that we have the ability to recruit the grenadiers and whatnot. We're going to take advantage of this and get that little research too, except I just took the wrong... There we go. Wrong school. There we go. There we go. We're all set. Now let's get ready, and we're just going to hop into the new turn. We'll see you on the other side. All right. Spain, once again, would like a trade agreement with us. They would like us to pay for the benefit of this trade. And you know what? It's only 380. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it to hopefully, if we're trading, they're going to be less likely to declare war back on us. They are nearby the capital of in Madrid from Gibraltar, so they could cause some issues if they decided to. We're going to go ahead and accept this trade agreement. All right, and finally they've come along and decided to attack. They have overwhelming forces. We're just going to auto-resolve and finally lose this province down in India. What we're going to have to keep our eyes on is the forces over here to see if they start moving towards our territory that we took over from the Iroquois, the former Portuguese territory at the beginning of the game. And they took it handily. We actually took out more of them than they took out of us, so that's a small positive to take from the negative. Oh boy, Württemberg has decided to declare war on us. They have an ally in Austria. My question becomes, those backstabbing guys, we are not in a good position for them at the moment. At least we do have a force in Amsterdam itself, but we may lose temporarily Alsace-Lorraine, that area, I'm thinking. Do we test our allies of Austria on this, because they're allied with both? Find out if they come to help, if they break our agreement, or will they come to our side because Württemberg is so small? Let's find out. And they stick with us. What do you know? They're going to be getting it from more than one side, hopefully from Austria. We'll see how active Austria is in helping us out, because it's going to take us a turn or two to get over there to defend down near those borders. Let's see if we have some action right away. All right, our army was destroyed down in India when they took over the province. An enemy fleet has undertaken a raid on one of our trade routes, and once again, that's nasty old Venice interrupting our trade basically from the Italian states. Yeah, it looks like Italian states up here and Russia down here. Those trades are getting interrupted. And we lost that region down in India. Yes, we know. And our trade agreement is gone there. We know. So no surprises there. We do have a nation destroyed down here, Morocco. So Spain has been active. They couldn't hold on to their own home country, so they went south from Gibraltar and took out Morocco. Construction report, we built the cotton warehouse and the College of Divinity in Flanders. That should have our religious conversion going our way now in Flanders. Let's look at a little history here. A new member of the Royal Society, Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit, has demonstrated a new kind of thermometer, capable of measuring a wider range of temperatures than previous designs. After the early death of his parents from mushroom poisoning, Fahrenheit worked briefly as a merchant, trained as a glass blower. I don't think he was a gas blower, and maintained a keen interest in scientific matters. He eventually settled in The Hague, where he now produces precision scientific instruments such as barometers and thermometers. As mercury is less volatile than alcohol, It is thus able to measure higher temperatures and has a high coefficient of expansion, ideal for use in thermometers. Fahrenheit hit upon the idea of filling his thermometers with mercury. He then needed to devise a suitable scale to use with his invention for recording temperatures, modestly naming it after himself. Of course, it'll never catch on. Trying to add a little humor to history there, I see. and in my reading, I added my own source of humor by misreading that one word. Anyway, let's take a look around at a few things that might be going on. Venice still fails to move against Milan, sitting here wide open, undefended. We are back to gaining some growth there. I hadn't been growing for a while, so growth is now under control in Milan. Flanders, since we're here, we'll take a quick peek, make sure religious conversions are working in our favor. And they are. Catholicism is now shrinking. Protestantism is now on the rise. And we got a little help from our enemy Sweden, to be quite honest. He's a missionary of our persuasion, and he's down in France, and I'm not going to complain. He can spread the word down there all he wants. Let's see. We got an army I was going to bring down to help out in the Italian states to potentially delay any force here. So we'll just kind of probably park it in Savoy, I'm thinking at the moment. Württemberg is right here. And I thought last turn they would immediately move against Alsace-Lorraine, but they did not. Since Sweden has not built up much of a force here, and we still have them blockaded in, that would be a slow build to build it up in Copenhagen. I think what we're safe to do is move out some of our forces here, our new grenadiers, and maybe move them towards Württemberg and see if we can deal with that new threat there before the Austrians do. Let's take a look at that. I think we can move everybody out. Yeah, without a doubt, without a problem. We can move out here, and I think we'll just head out this way towards Strasbourg first. Yeah, we'll just take everybody. What the heck? We got some income back, up around 14,000. So if I feel like I need to build a few or recruit a few token forces back in Amsterdam, we can. If I'm starting to feel a little nervous about that, but we're gonna put them on the road towards Alsace-Lorraine. We'll get there next turn, depending on what they do. And once we protect our own province or try to retake it once they take it over, we can then move against Stuttgart and see if we can end that threat and hopefully end it quickly and get back, because I don't like leaving Amsterdam wide open like it is. Okay, let's take a look around elsewhere. We saw some activity, at least mid-turn. I saw some activity in the Americas. And we definitely have activity in the Americas. The British force, I saw them on the move. I couldn't tell if they were able to reach and take over this turn. It looks like next turn they will be taking over the Iroquois territory, Cayuga. And we're going to get on the move with our forces. We won't get there this turn, but fortunately I think we will beat the British, so at least we will have a good battle. Looks like we're in good shape numbers-wise to move on Niagara, to retake Niagara. I'm not trying to jump around too much. I just realized as we were in the Americas, I forgot about this gentleman that finally we have dropped off over here. I'm going to take a look at which school he might be best in, which school we can use the most support in. And I'm kind of thinking the longest research time right now is in our naval school in Luxembourg, and that's where we're going to head out. I believe that one's right here. Yes, it is. So that's where you're going to head out. Get there next turn. All right, now let's continue our search and check out India. A lot of bit was happening over here. We did lose our province over here, but they're a long ways away from us. But I did see movement towards us down here. This army that had been, I believe, down taking over this capital is now on the move in our general direction. We cannot recruit on site yet, and even when we do, it's not going to be much. I think what we may try to do, I'll bail if I feel their force is overwhelming, but in the meantime, just in case, we can get some help to our side. We're going to recruit over here. In fact, let's take a look at our army to see what we're lacking the most. In fact, let's take a look. I promise that's the last in fact. Let's kind of take a look at what they've got. They've got bowmen, got a lot of melee infantry, bowmen, a lot of melee infantry. They do have 4 pieces of artillery also. So they're going to outgun us artillery-wise. The question is, they majorly outgun us artillery-wise with our lone piece there. So in the meantime, recruitment over here, we're going to, well, that's not going to help us fast, but we're going to recruit 1 12-pounder. It's going to take a couple turns. And then what will help us most? Possibly the cavalry against melee units, or since that cannon isn't going to be there for a couple turns anyway, does cavalry take a couple turns to recruit? Let's find out. No, it does not. Melee defense is 11. Melee attack and defense is a lot stronger on the VOC, although melee defense on the VOC infantry, which is mostly what we'll be doing. Oh, but they got good defense here. We're going to take the unit of cavalry, and their defense is as good as our line infantry, and it'll give us a little extra mobility to boot. So that's our initial recruitment down here. I doubt with the speed they can close in over there that we're going to be able to really reinforce in any great degree. We're probably going to have to make the choice to stand and fight with our army of 14 against their army of 28 units, regiments. So they double our numbers, and a lot of those are melee, which are tough when they just swarm you like that. So we'll make the call at the last minute. We may retreat once again, follow the plan of hit and run, and keep slowly building our forces. Let's take a look at where our fleet arrived. And we have a beat up fleet coming back. We're starting to do a little rotation out of the East Indies to repair our ships. And we'll get that process going here too. Alright, I think I'm at the point where I've done the obvious things that I want to take care of. Let's then pause. I'll take a look around the map without y'all following me around. See if I've missed anything. Our conversion is decent enough over here to cause them hopefully some religious anxieties. Let's go to the top of this mountain and see if you have some more luck over there. You're gaining some renewed zeal being down here, so that's a good thing. Something I noticed over here with our Navy, we have a couple more 4th rates that have become available, and I think we want to get those. I think 4 4th rates for this fleet is enough for now, and then we'll see about adding some to some other fleets. And at some point we'll be able to start building even better ships as our research development speeds up a little by sending the extra gentlemen over there. Alright, I'm happy with the makeup of this fleet. We got 4 4th rates. In fact, if we can get healed up over here in Spain and get things under control there. In fact, we're going to get the last of the devastation fixed up so we don't have any drags on our population happiness over there. And then we're going to see about moving out this army. So let's... in fact, we're going to even upgrade the drill school down here so we have a source closer to potential conflict down in this part of the continent where we can recruit from. We have the money, we better spend it right now. Let's just take a look at the army. It's probably next turn. Oh, there's only a couple of units left that need healing. So actually I'm thinking what we're going to do is leave those units back that need healing, and we're going to move straight out into here. They may have moved their army, what it looks like, away from the capital, which would work to our benefit. Let's take a quick peek down here. They sure did. We'll go back and blockade. And we're going to move our army out and see what they do. More than likely, they will retreat back to their capital. And we're going to have a battle down there too to kick Portugal out of the war. But let's just take a look at public order before we move. We won't be able to move everybody out right now. That's the problem, unless I exempt Spain from tax once again and take a hit to our income. So let's start playing with what kind of forces we can get out of here. Alright, we kind of chose our best units out of the bunch. Let's take, where's the road that goes in that direction? Anyway, let's move our force out and check the public order. So that's even a little too much. So we probably have to wait another turn before we can really move anything significant out. We really do need the bulk of our army to be able to move. Let's just take a look at the happiness and what's driving that and what may change. Obviously, resistance to occupation is a big one, and it just deteriorates like 1 per turn. So we may, let me just see if I exempt tax. It doesn't help all that much for us being able to take our armies out of there. So let's just do this. We're going to wait another turn before we move against Portugal. At least right now they are not a big threat. We'll get our last units to heal and we'll come back and check next turn to see what kind of a force we can move out of here. One thing I think I'll do that'll have a nice impact for both my mobility moving around the continent now that more action keeps popping up. I'm going to take a look at upgrading roads. The infrastructure, the infrastructure improvements also do help our wealth in the region, so it's not a bad investment at the same time. And that's probably it that we're going to be able to do, at least on road infrastructure, and I'm not sure that any of that money is enough to upgrade. Oh, we could. Why don't we just spend it on the vineyards? We can always use more wine, correct? There we go. All right, that should be it for this turn. One more time, I'm going to take a quick look, and then we'll hit the next turn button. This lone 5th rate that's sitting here that dropped off our gentleman, we're going to send it back to the Americas, where we could probably use a little bolster to our fleet over there. It's not the strongest in the world. Let's see if you can make it down here. Yes. Alright, we are going to go head on to the next turn. We'll see you on the other side. Alright, looks like Württemberg has moved against us before we could get there. So it looks like we're going to have to battle to retake our own province, or maybe en route. Nah, I don't think I can cross this river except here at Strasbourg. So, yeah, we're going to have a devastated little town of Strasbourg here by the time it's all said and done, and he has a nice looking little force here with all the cavalry. It's too bad that I couldn't make it there in time, because this would be very much in our favor to be able to defend against it. One thing I did notice is they do not have much infantry, and they have no artillery. They're going to have to do all their attacking by climbing the walls. Man, if I even had a little bit more of a garrison there, how nice that would have been. Well, because if I have a garrison of mortars, they're going to have a garrison of mortars when we re-attack. So, anyway, we're just going to auto-resolve this. I'm tempted. If I just had a few more units to hold the walls against them, I would give this a try, but we just don't quite have enough. Although some militia, some line infantry. Now they outnumber us more than 2 to 1 on militia, and even climbing the walls. Although we do have mortar. So what do you say? Do we give it a shot? I'm gonna give it a shot. Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. I've got to see how much damage I can inflict on their army, so that when we follow it up, maybe they're not quite as strong. Let's find out. All right, here we are, our meager army. Their forces will deploying. It looks like their deployment zone is on these 2 corners, so that's where we will have ourselves. We'll have our I think we're set up about as good as we're going to be able to set up here. Let's take the walls. What is this unit over here? Yeah, hopefully we got units where we need them, so we can try shooting at them as they advance towards us. We'll have our mortars working for us, and let's get this started. Mortars wise, we are going to focus on infantry units. It looks like the bulk of their infantry right now is over on this side. What are we looking at on this side? Now we got some line infantry over here too. They're going to come over towards this undefended corner. So what I need to do is take you off the point, take you off the corner. Just to get you back here. A lot of the militia is over here, but they got line infantry too. Yeah, they got 3 line infantry, 3 militia approximately over there. Three more line infantry at least over there, mixed in with the militia. So they're gonna overwhelm us. They're going to be able to come up uncontested in just too many spots. We're trying to do the most hurt as we can with our mortars on the line infantry, and so far we are having some of them break. Can they aim behind us like that? Turning to shoot. We need to get in there hand to hand right now. Against militia initially. Yeah, we got the regiment of foot being able to get their lines up on us. Do I have any immediate attacks on this front? It may be that we need to run our citizenry over here now. Ooh, that looks like a good unit. Is it ground unit? Oh, I think that may be like a smaller, long-range kind of unit. They're going to try taking the wall too. So far we're holding here at the moment because it's only militia we're up against. We need more targets, and if you're going to be running around the back to try to come up uncontested, we're going to aim over here. We got some line infantry here that's up on the walls. Yeah, so we're kind of surrounded a little bit. No, not quite, not quite. I'll tell you, mortars, we got a nice full unit coming around the backside here. Let's target that line infantry. And see if our armed citizenry can outnumber them enough in hand-to-hand combat to make enough of a dent. Except now we got these light units moving across. And I have these units still firing down. Maybe what we need to do is relocate them here real quick so they can get better aim, better fire, because there's a bulk of their army right here trying to get up these walls. And in case these guys start wavering, we'll be able to provide some support, be a lot closer. Get up there and fire, guys. We fire at the line infantry, leave the militia go, even though they may move somewhere else that's uncontested. Ours, our armed citizenry working over here. They're hanging tough at the moment. Excessive losses starting to build. We need to bring in against our defenses here, so no more shooting from the wall. We got to repulse them at the walls, hand to hand. I'm feeling more overwhelmed now over here all of a sudden. Let's try some bombardment help over here. And we are ultimately going to fade. We got these militia here coming up over here, and we're starting to waver here and here, so the end is in sight. Hopefully we have done enough damage on their strongest units, so when our main army, untested main army from Amsterdam, comes to attack, we'll have an easier time of it. They'll have a boatload of cavalry that we'll have to deal with. But cavalry can't defend the walls, so we'll see. We'll see. And we do have cannon to bust through those walls. Well, the wavering stopped briefly. And we wanted our aim changed over there, guys. What do we do? Bombard ourselves somehow? We'll just say a cannon exploded or something. And we are finally starting to waver here. Our main hold against all these forces is starting to waver. But once he drops and we get multi-directional attacks against this unit, we will not be able to hold after that. Our forces are down to 50%, and they are still climbing up. And we don't see them wavering. And for some reason, we keep bombing ourselves. I don't think they have cannon anywhere, do they now? So it has to be self-inflicted. No, that can't be. No, that's coming. That bombardment is coming. So somewhere along the way, I must have missed. Yeah, we're starting to waver. This is the end. Yeah, and they've gotten over the walls in the side here, so that the end is in sight, guys. Hopefully we've done our job and done the damage we needed to. We held on longer than I expected. Good job, men. We're going to hopefully make it so that your courageous defense of this this fort is not in vain. And that should be it. Everybody's routing now. All right, we barely managed to make them lose a little more than us, but all those losses are from foot soldiers pretty much, and infantry. So that's really where we wanted to put the hurt for when we move again against the city to retake it. All right, so we have a trade route raided. Let's just double check where these are. Oh, Portuguese Navy has broken off to have a spare ship to raid. Well, guess what we're gonna do is we are gonna just take it out with our Navy here. In fact, let's just see what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a 5th rate. It's time to give our 4th rates a little battle action and have a little fun. Alright, we'll see you on the high seas. Alright, we don't have the wind as our friend. What we're going to do is deploy over here to try and take what advantage of the wind we can. We're going to group, and we are going to get going based on where, kind of a crosswind, take advantage of that at least as we move closer to where they start. And as we get closer, we will let you know, and we will pick up the battle at that point. We will, however, take a nice close look at our new vessels here, the 4th rates. 58 guns, stronger hull than the 5th rates. I'm guessing similar maneuverability. Beautiful as she walks by, as she floats by. It's not exactly walking, is it? Okay, we are getting pretty close now. I'm thinking what we will do is turn the line more into the wind right now. Try and turn our broadsides towards our target and see if we can get first shot, or if he's going to react and turn quicker. Now his bow guns are able to shoot and miss. Let's just start catching the wind. The sails come down. Our bow cannon return the favor. And we go long and short. So we got it zeroed in. So all the barrage of our broadside should be strong and true. Bow cannon to hit. And there's our first broadside fired from our 4th rates. In fact, what we're going to do, keep them looped around in this fashion. So as quick as possible we can get the lead ship in the line back to be able to fire again. Oh, almost turning our stern though. That was a good shot choice on their part, but he's going to take another He's losing slightly, as he should be. You can see his hull weakening from all those broadsides we've been bringing on him. And we're about to get our final 4th rate, its initial volley. So they're no longer green after this. Power. 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 See how well we're looping back around. Okay, let's kind of angle up this way and meet again. Keeping, hopefully, the shots barraging his weakened left side. Which should be his port side, right? He is turning again. He's not going to have maneuverability, but he is trying to get his weak side away from us, is what he's trying to do. And he's trying to turn to get this guy in the stern. We almost, if we're lucky, will get that same shot on him. Not quite. Fortunately, at a distance, the hits did not seem too intense. But now we're going to be working at a stronger hull side. I'm going to break apart the line at this point to get more maneuverability with some of these other vessels. he's starting to feel the pain now as we're all aiming and shooting at him. He is on fire. He will not last long. Let's make sure he's not routing and getting away, that we can either get the surrender or sink. And we took the decisive victory. We convinced him. Just too much firepower. All right, and he is gone. We pounded that hull so bad. Oh no, it says one remaining, but he gave, I don't know how it's remaining, because it said, well, we'll find out. It got away. I don't know why it ended if he wasn't sunk or surrendered, but it did. We're gonna go back up and do some minor repairs for these guys.
Orders ontvangen. Orders.
Very minor. And let's see what the rest of the turn has brought us. We have a new recruit down in India. We'll have to see how they moved against our territory down there. We did lose Alsace-Lorraine. We knew about that valiant defeat. Construction report. We're getting some more income generating business here, although our income right now is measly. Partly because we are getting a lot of trade blockaded, I think, over here from Venice. Yeah, we have a trade blockade right there. And the British may have someone may have dealt with that other blockading navy of theirs. But they used to have another one around here somewhere. Not to be seen at the moment. Let's change our direction to something else that's hanging on my mind. And that's right up here. The British on their turn did indeed take out the territory, the Iroquois territory there. In fact, they've already vacated and moved their army to the wind. So let's grab Niagara before they have a chance to grab it themselves. All right, we do have a slight advantage. I don't recall natives carrying a lot of pitchforks, but we do have one unit, one mob unit carrying pitchforks. There we go. We should have a slight advantage. Once again, we have to worry about some of their medicine men, their melee units that can wreak some havoc on us. But we should be able to handle this, especially we have an artillery piece, 2 artillery pieces. They have none. We have some cavalry to help counter theirs, and we also have the pikemen to help us out also. So let's get down here. This will probably be the final battle for this episode. But let's see if we can't end it on a good note. No surrender, and we'll meet you on the battlefield. Alright, it's a snowy battlefield that we're fighting on. This is the way the AI set us up. We're going to make a few adjustments, because as I come down to ground level, I don't like that our artillery's down in a little gully area. That doesn't bode well for range of fire. So what we're going to try doing is well, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset, and we'll come right back and take a look at the setup once I'm done. Alright, this is the way we're setting up. We're doing a very long front line. We got the artillery back on this hill rather than down in the ravine, so hopefully at least we'll get a better range of fire as they get over the rise on their side. Artillery is backed up by the pikemen in case they try closing in with melee units. I only have one regiment of reserve on both wings. Hopefully that'll be sufficient. And then we have cavalry on the wings also. We took fire off, fire at will, so they're just going to use this cavalry as melee. At least that's the initial plan. Let's get started. Oh, and then we have a couple units of native musketmen that we had sent up, and we never really needed them, so we're going to run them up to this copse of trees, see if they can't get hidden, give us some early sight on their movements as they advance towards us. just halt where we are, since they're so close. Kind of be an advanced force, get a feel for them. They do have cavalry out there that can run against us, so we'll pull back if things get a little intense. They're going to move cavalry straight against us. Oh, those are gunners. We're wavering already. 2 casualties, we shouldn't be wavering, guys. First attack repulsed. We'll kind of work on their mounted units that we're able to see, especially the lancers in the back. I'm not thrilled with them because they're coming back for a renewed charge on our exposed native musketmen. And this time it may be that we'll have to retreat. We shall see. I have a feeling this time we may get overwhelmed. Unless artillery fire can help us out. Repulse again. This is amazing. I think we're going to pull you guys back now. It's getting a little bit too crazy out there. We're going to switch to some canister shot. Pull back, guys. Pull back. Running up a hill now. Medicine men we got to keep an eye on. They're going to close for some melee. We are very tired. These musketmen, we've worn them out, but look at what the job they did initially repulsing some amazing enemy troops. Mounted tribal gunners, we're going to have to move forward here real quick. We need canister shot to help us out. Could be that because of the... Wow, we're okay. Some of it's hitting now. We're doing some damage now. They got to feel the pain. They may be still going just a little high. Oh, there's some casualties. Pikemen aren't ready. I'm going to bring them forward. Silence the cannon temporarily. They're a little too close for comfort against the artillery. We're going to bring this unit down in case we need melee support down here. We have hidden arrows fighting, and they're closed for melee here. We are going to come in for some support here to repulse that attack. We're going to take you off fire at will to get you rested. Pikemen doing their number on these guys. The warrior society is going to be tough for them. Look at our numbers plummet. And we've kind of got ourselves surrounded a little bit. Can we bring our general out to charge and help that enclosure? If we need a little support on the natives, even though they're tired. keep our eye on the general and his losses. General's hanging in there pretty good. I think we may have done the initial repulse. We may be pulling the general back very quickly. He is wavering. Our losses have solidified on the pikemen. And I think it's time to bring the general back. The pikemen have done their job. We'll go back to canister fire here. Oh, they are not on their... Take that back. They are not on their weapons. Grab your weapons, boys. What happened here? Run back, pikemen. Don't get hit. No, we're taking hits. I didn't run. I turned the cannon back on too soon. You see the danger of that by that mistake. That shows you what not to do. Let's bring these support from the melee units back. And you'll notice we have not done much with our cavalry, and now he's getting peppered. It's time to bring our cavalry into the mix before they take too much hurt. In charge on these musketmen. Make sure they're all back to long shot. And we gotta bring these guys back. And it's time to hunt down those bowmen that might be somewhere around over here that are peppering us and doing a lot of damage. Unseen damage. We got over here some more hidden bowmen over here. Kind of the best defense against bowmen lately is charge. Charge. And charge. Got a lot of bowmen over here on this left flank. They've done the melee damage, but it wasn't enough. Let's bring the other cavalry over to help support the left, the only remaining hot spots left. We got the chief's bodyguard remaining. So let's focus artillery fire over there until we're able to get to it ourselves. Looks like we are handling the bowmen. Yes. Time to refocus on the general. Whoops, we got another unit of bowmen down here. Reinforced. Then we'll take on the general. And we got another unit popped up vision over here. What are we looking at? The musketmen have returned. We're just going to face them head on. Back, we'll bring the general support over there. That is the general. Looks like those bowmen are knocked out, and we're going to go now. Maneuvering against the general's bodyguard. He is the last remaining force. We're going to silence the cannon as we get closer. And we are going to run down the chief. And that is what you call it. Oh, he's already running. more cavalry on the scene soon to seal the deal. Looks like everybody else in the distance is routing. So this battle should be ours. All right, victory is ours. We have taken back Niagara, which was wrongfully taken from us. There we go. All right, we still lost 1,700 due to a lot of the melee battles that we got caught in. But it's ours. We're going to spend the money here to help with our public order. We won't build anything else up yet. And I'm not going to rush to spend the money yet to fix up the army, because there's no other immediate threats at the moment. Of course, the moment I say that is when I get surprised, right? Region captured, nation destroyed, the Iroquois are no more. We've gained a trait, plus morale in battle, plus command when leading infantry. More traits, morale in battle. that was a great battle for us as far as extra traits. This commander is gaining the experience right now. And we have other traits. Look at that for this guy. What position is he in? I am not sure. He's a priest. I tell you, he's regaining zeal. Just send him into enemy territory and he gets re-enthused. Our comptroller has some nice extra bonuses. +2 to management for treasury, although it says -4 bonus to global tax income. And so what we're going to do is we got a fleet arriving. Let's go see where that is. It's bow. My fleet to the Americas. We'll just park him and then call this an episode. I think we've had enough battles, even though none of them by themselves were mainly necessarily the most significant battles. 2 of them I did just for fun. But we will be having a significant battle to be able to lead off the next episode, and that's right here. We have our army poised for payback in Strasbourg. Now I'm looking at the army all of a sudden going, well, maybe we're not exactly poised. Do we have a way? Yeah, and we are on the proper side of the river, so we could actually move against their capital instead. So that may be our first move. It's where we appear to have the best advantage, and then we'll worry about the main force over here. So ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. In fact, where I live is somewhere on this map. Americas, India, or the continent. So somewhere on this map is where I live. That'll help you narrow down. Anyway, hit me a like, hit me a dislike. Subscribe so you don't miss any more future battles. I sure do appreciate y'all watching, especially if you hear me thanking you right now. You're the ones I appreciate the most that stick it out through these episodes. Thanks so much.